And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring.
The massive North Shore swell bigger than expected and being called one of the biggest on record.
This swell definitely is what we had in 2016. That was by far some of the biggest surf that I've ever seen in my career.
The swell arriving yesterday, surf about 12 feet, but that all changed overnight.
Very large swell. We're looking at right now 40 to 45 foot face value and a solid 20 to 25 foot Hawaiian.
This is amazing. The biggest waves I've ever seen in my life. I had cousins in the Navy that saw some pretty big stuff in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, but I mean, it's middle of the ocean. This is right here on a shore, so it's quite amazing to see.
This was Keiki Beach at 7 a.m. yesterday. Here it is today, taken at the same spot at the same time. All of the sand that was taken from beneath the homes at Ehukai, also referred to as pipeline this summer, ended up here at Keiki Beach. And if you can believe it or not, where those rocks are behind me, there was actually a mini beach up until this morning. Obviously, this massive northwest swell has completely covered the area, and the homeowners are hoping that it brings the sand back to where it once was.
This is one of the largest swells that we've seen since maybe the 80s. But this should fill up with sand, and believe it or not, within 2 months, this will be a 200 to 300 foot wide beach. I know it doesn't seem like it now.
Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish, with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven. Yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away.
Look around this open field in Hillsborough and you'll see dead birds on the ground. We found about 20 European starlings and red-winged blackbirds in one corner off West Union Road. These pictures may be even tougher for you to see. A bald eagle and red-tailed hawk also found dead in the same field earlier this week. The man who spotted them works nearby. He saw the eagle first and called wildlife officials. The birds, large and small, are being tested now to see what killed them.
But understand this, that in the last days there will come times of difficulty, for people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not loving good, treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having the appearance of godliness, but denying its power. Avoid such people.
Let's move on to something really scary.
He's going to tell us this new gender-neutral clothing line.
Yes.
Singer Celine Dion, let them have those things.
Yes.
Is pushing. No one gets that joke except us, but
okay.
What's going on?
This line is called Celine Nunu. I swear to God.
What?
That's it. Celine Nunu. And this is the website. It says, to liberate children from the traditional roles of boy and girl. It's to amplify the discussion about a humanistic education which is gender-free. She rolled out this new fashion line, and it's in conjunction with an Israeli fashion line, with this very bizarre ad. Ooh. She walks into a maternity ward, blows glitter around the room. All the boys are in blue, the girls are in pink, not after she does her magic. And then in one of the bassinets, this big voodoo doll appears. It's a very strange line. See it on the right-hand side of your screen? See it?
Ew.
Okay.
Why is that enticing for a clothing
Let
line?
me show you the bizarre fashions, okay? These are gender neutral, but they're very dark. There are skulls in the collection. Why you would put babies in skulls, I don't know. Bones.
Planned Parenthood special.
There's this all-seeing eye that's, you know, a big thing with
Is that kind of the
some
Antifa child?
secret groups.
What was that?
Bizarre. And this group, this New, they have demonic designs with horned hoodies for kids.
I thought it was Halloween
Very
costumes. They're
dark.
very good as that.
Look
What's
at this. This is from their Instagram
That
page.
looks like something out of the Wizard of Oz when the Lollipop Kids. Or
It's
no,
really
Lullaby League came
Well,
out.
Celine Dion and the founders of this brand explained themselves in a CNN interview. Watch this.
We're at Celine Nunu trying to shape the future of all human beings by saying, find your own individuality.
We bring a new order as a concept
into the world.
You know what? You don't know what they're going to become later. And you don't want for them to have psychologiquement a problem of growth and say, I'm supposed to be like that, I'm supposed to say that, I'm supposed to dress like this because I'm a guy, I'm a boy, I'm supposed to do. No, you don't know.
I think that's what people are going to say about this line.
This is
Celine,
gonna go-
no.
No, this is going to go the way of Murphy Brown, okay? It's all going to be rejected by the customer. I don't even
Laura,
understand this.
Unless you're a member of the Addams family or a satanic cult, why would you dress your infant in this wear?
But they admitted, but they admitted what their goals are.
A new order.
They want a new order. They want to affect the culture, change the way people.
Well,
And if you haven't heard the name Desmond Napoles, get ready for this trailblazing 11-year-old drag kid who RuPaul is calling the future. His bravery is inspiring so many. We're going to talk to him in just a moment, but first, let's take a look at his amazing story.
I'm Desmond. I'm 11 years old, and I like pizza, trains, and drinking root beer since it's caffeine-free. I also do drag, and I love to put on makeup, dresses, and wigs, and of course, jewelry is necessary. My full drag name is Desmond is Amazing. Feel very happy to have a mom that accepts me.
It really touches me deeply that there are other children out there that he's reaching and they're listening to him and he's influencing them to be themselves.
I'm very proud of him. I'm proud that he's found his path so early.
My greatest joy in this is just seeing Desmond happy.
I love doing drag because it makes me feel amazing and self-expressive. It just feels amazing to know that people love what I do. My one big message would be 3 words: be yourself always.
So for you three, when you see Desmond, what comes to mind? What do you think about?
Inspirational.
Yeah.
Brave, courageous. I wish, because I started doing drag at 15 years old, and obviously not 11, but I wish even at that age that I could have had the courage that you have to do what you do and literally take the art and put it in mainstream America. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Yeah.
You're the future of drag, so you have a lot to live up to.
It would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were cast into the sea than that he should cause one of these little ones to sin. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
Frightening images of chaos and confusion continue to pour out of Anchorage, Alaska tonight.
It was absolutely terrifying.
A massive 7.0 earthquake rocked the city Friday morning, sending people scurrying for cover in their homes, at school, and work.
Holy smoke.
Shattering parts of major roads and triggering a tsunami warning for several frantic hours.
And very loud when it came, and very clear that this was something bigger than what we normally experience.
The Anchorage Police Department reported major damage to infrastructure across the city, and there are widespread power outages reported. The state's governor issued a disaster declaration, and President Trump tweeted the federal government will, quote, spare no expense.
The impact is very real, the impact is very hard, and it will require, apparently, a great deal of recovery and effort.
Aftershocks were felt immediately following the quake, including one registering a 5.7 magnitude.
People in Anchorage should expect to be feeling aftershocks most of today, and potentially for a lot longer time. People should be expecting that there will be some level of earthquakes for potentially a few years.
And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up, and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.